Hi, I'm Roland Svensson, living here in Norway. I'm a Swedish guy, starting getting older. I'm a physical therapist, been working since 1988 in private practice, running my own clinic now together with four colleagues. And this is for human treatments. In 1994, I started figuring out that this Skanlab unit, Skanlab VET unit, also was very beneficial treating animals with, not only humans. And in my opinion, is a tendon, a muscle is a muscle, a joint is a joint. The structure are built up more or less similar on humans as on animals. So I figured out should be interesting to try on horses, especially because I'm a horseman next to my clinical physical therapy, have a small ranch with breeding Western horses and also showing and competing in Western sport. Due to that, my interest was able to keep my horses healthy for showing and competition. And starting up treating those animals gave me the idea that this could be really beneficial. Instead of giving them a lot of injections, shots and anti-inflammatory medicine, this was much better for the animals. And what is then a Skanlab VET, or also in Europe called the TECAR VM? This is a machine that's kind of go into the depth of the tissue. It's a long wave, called a long wave machine, has a frequency of 500 kilohertz and a wavelength of 600 meters. That is not telling you too much, but it tells us that you have a good depth of the treatment, coming into the tendon, coming into the joint, coming down to the deeper layer structures in an animal, especially a horse with a lot of muscle mass on certain parts of the body. So starting up with this, through the years been treating several horses with really good results. Started then pushing the inventor and the company of and the producer of the Skanlab for humans, to make me and other people a Skanlab VET edition and the Skanlab TECAR VM edition, which is fixed and set with protocols for the most important and most common injuries for horses and also for dogs. And due to that, in 2019 we got the first Skanlab VET machine, which I'm really happy to use. What is then Skanlab VET or TECAR VM doing? As I said, it's a long wave machine, goes deep in the tissue. It's working with what we call a electrostatic field, where you use only one treatment electrode and a return electrode to connect the alternating currents circuit in the body of the animal, and of course also by the humans. And doing that makes us create a field which makes the ions in the body to move back and forth or rotate. We don't know really for sure, but these movements of the ions creates an energy that is becoming heat in the tissue, all the different tissue layers, because every tissue layer is a part of this capacitive field. So it means that every tissue layer gets an increase of the temperature, which in my opinion is very beneficial, because you get the feedback from the skin when it's too warm, but still you have a decent temperature in the deep layer of the body as well, but not too warm. And due to that, you also get quick results of treating the animals. So what could you use the Skanlab for then? It's very beneficial to create heat in the tissue. It gives a pain relief, it gives an increased elasticity, and it gives also an increased circulation and metabolic activity. Those facts is kind of the most important things to start up a healing process in damaged tissue, but also as a pre-treatment for damages, or preventive treatment. For example, you have a horse that had a lameness due to a tendon problem. For a while that can be a weak spot on the animal, and if it's a weak spot on that animal, if we treat him after exercise, we kind of optimize the circulation, optimize this elasticity in the tissue, which means the risk for it to come back again is much lesser. So preventing and pre-treatment is equally important as treatment to treat injuries. And for another example, if you have a muscle tension, soreness, due to a saddle that doesn't fit perfect, or due to that the horse has been playing too much around in the pasture, if that's happened, they can be stretch a muscle or get a tight muscle to block themselves a little bit. Just a couple of few treatments of this might prevent that. The damage will be bigger, and it will also make the muscle to smoothen up and makes it more workable and with no problem. So all by all, doing a injury treatment on animals like horses and dogs, the benefit of it is shorten the rehabilitation time, coming back to the show pen, the trot field, or the competition, or even just get to a healthy horse is so beneficial, instead of using a lot of expensive things with a veterinarian, which might sometimes also have side effects. If you get too much shots in the joint, what happened in the joints in the future? Well, I preferred using the Skanlab VET Tekar VM instead of putting a lot of injections in that part of the body, for sure. That has several other things as well that is more beneficial using this comparing to using all this medicine stuff. But the other way around, we need a support from the veterinarian and the equitherapist, because they could help us to put the right diagnosis. It could be ultrasound scanning to put the right diagnosis, and if you do an ultrasound scanning, then you know exactly where to put your treatment with a Skanlab VET Tekar VM. And the equitherapist can also give you, sometimes if you speak about tight muscles, stiff joints, they can give you, there's not really an injury, but there's a stiffness and a tightness that could be helped really quick and good by using the Skanlab VET or the Tekar VM. Thank you very much for listening to me. I hope this is interesting for you guys, and continue good work with your animals, because this could make your work with animals even better.